What if I told you that some records don't arrive with fireworks? They don't crash servers in a single night. They don't scream for attention. They breathe. They exist quietly, steadily, almost impossibly. Because for 55 consecutive months, one name has stayed exactly where it is. Not because nothing tried to replace it, not because time stood still, but because no matter how fast the industry moved, no matter how many new faces appeared, people kept coming back to the same place. That name is Jimin. Every single month, the question resets. Will this be the one? Will this be the month the streak ends? Will something finally change? And then the data comes in, and once again, there he is. Number 1. December arrives, the year nearly finished, and Jimin once again tops the boy group individual brand reputation rankings, extending his reign to an almost unthinkable 55 months. Pause for a moment and really feel that number. 55 months is not a comeback era. It's not a promotional cycle, it's not luck. It's 4.5 years of sustained relevance in one of the fastest moving industries in the world. This ranking isn't based on opinions or casual votes. It's built from massive-scale big data analysis, more than 55 million data points collected in a single month alone. Every article, every comment, every search, every conversation, every moment someone chooses to engage, participation, media visibility, communication, community response. And when all of that was measured, filtered, and analyzed, Jimin's brand reputation index reached over 3.12 million. But numbers only tell part of the story. Because when researchers looked closer at how people talk about him, something deeper appeared. The most connected words weren't about power or dominance. They were words like unique, healing, traveling. Think about that. In an industry often defined by pressure, intensity, and competition, Jimin's name is associated with comfort, with rest, with warmth, with the feeling of being understood. And then came the sentiment analysis. Out of everything said, shared, and written about him, an astonishing 93.51% was positive. That means nearly everyone speaking about Jimin is doing so with admiration, affection, or trust. That kind of consistency doesn't happen by accident. It happens when people feel safe with an artist, when they believe in him, not just as a performer, but as a presence in their lives. Look at the names surrounding him in the rankings. Icons, veterans, global stars, cultural heavyweights. And yet, month after month, Jimin remains the center. Not because he demands attention, but because people choose him. They choose his voice when they need comfort. They choose his performances when they need emotion. They choose his name when they talk about what truly resonates. That is what brand reputation really measures, not noise, but connection. And perhaps that's why this streak feels different. It doesn't feel aggressive. It doesn't feel forced. It feels earned. 55 months of being present, 55 months of being trusted, 55 months of being remembered. In a world that constantly asks for something new, Jimin proves that what lasts isn't always the loudest thing. Sometimes it's the thing that feels like home. And as another year closes, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. Some artists chase moments, some chase records, but a few, very few, build something far more powerful. They build endurance. They build meaning. And month after quiet month, Jimin continues to stand exactly where he belongs.